Hello, I'm Lucy from Colouring in the Midst of Madness, and today I'm bringing you a review of this, the World of Flowers 2020 Colouring Wall Calendar by Johanna Basford. Now this calendar is the same size as normal wall calendars and it's 12 by 12 inches, so it is significantly bigger than the book, which I think is about 10.5 inches. Now this means that the images are all a fair bit bigger inside, which is really handy. The first thing I'll come on to is a slight disappointment. I absolutely love this calendar, so I'll get the disappointment done and dusted and out of the way. So the front is foiled with this beautiful sort of rose gold foiling, but it's actually slightly embossed, and this means that when you open it up, and I will just fold this back on itself to bring it up closer to the camera, there is debossing on quite a large amount of sections on the page. Now, as you can see, I've coloured this page and it looks like it's absolutely fine, but do check out the link below to my written review where I've got before and after photos, and you'll see what I mean. So this I coloured with Derwent Ink Tense pencils and I activated it with water. And when I first coloured it, when I was coming over sections like this, which I'm hoping you can see are debossed, it was almost like rubbing over, you know when you do bark rubbings with crayons, or brass rubbing, you could see these indentations through it, and there's one here that I haven't managed to fill in brilliantly. So it does mean that you're better using kind of wetter mediums on this first page. All of the others are absolutely fine, you can use whatever you like, but on the first page I would advise using something where you can move the pigment, because with just pencils it just kind of catches all around the raised bits, and it looks really not ideal. So I would definitely avoid using pencils on this first page unless you use watercolour pencils, because then when you're using water you can move the pigment. So that's my only criticism, but the rest of it is absolutely stunning. So I'm just going to try and get the whole thing in shot. There we go. So you've got 13 images. All of them are images from the World of Flowers book. None of them are new. So the first page, you've got this 4-month overview of the end of 2019. And then you start on the calendar pages. So each image is quite a bit larger than in the book. And so you've got a lot more room on the more detailed sections to fill in with blending and shading. It means that if you've got any issues with fine motor control or vision, this will be much, much easier for you to colour than the original book. As ever, we've got a heart illustration for February, and when we get to October you'll see that there is a skull as well. This has become kind of a signature thing for Johanna with her books and her calendars. So the paper is cream. It's slightly less yellow than the paper in Secret Garden and Enchanted Forest, but it's slightly whiter, slightly yellower than the new ivory papers that's in the US and UK editions of World of Flowers. Now, as you probably know, those are different papers. You can see that on my blog. I've done comparison posts of all of those. And on the post that I have linked below, there is a picture of this paper compared with Secret Garden and both editions of World of Flowers, so you can see exactly what paper you're getting. It's sort of medium thick, it's quite weighty. You can use almost any medium you like. I would avoid using alcohol markers unless you only colour through the year. If you colour ahead, what will happen is the ink will just bleed through and you will absolutely ruin the calendar page, which is fine if you don't want to use it as a calendar, but if you're wanting to display it, it will look quite messy. So you may want to either just colour through the year, doing each month as you go with alcohol markers, or use something else. But this paper is really good for almost every medium. Water-based pens don't generally bleed. There's very little shadowing usually. My Derwent Ink Tense pencils worked brilliantly. I'm a bit heavy-handed with water and I got almost no buckling, absolutely no bleed through or shadowing at all. So yeah, you can use whatever you like. And as you can see, it's a really lovely selection of images. And some of them you could add your own backgrounds if you want to. And especially once Johanna's new book, How to Draw Inky Wonderlands, is out, you may even be able to add your own drawings. That's something I've never done yet, but I'm hoping that I will one day be brave enough once I've got tips from the master. So here we come to October with the skull. The lettering on each page is leafy as always, and you've got the previous month and the preceding month of dates in the first couple of boxes each time. You've also got international holidays, and the country that they're celebrated in is next to them, so it doesn't matter that it's kind of for all countries. This calendar, it covers all bases very nicely. The other thing is that because it's a US calendar, it starts on a Sunday. As I mentioned in my review last year of Johanna's calendar, I never understood why some calendars start on a Monday and some start on a Sunday, and it's because British ones start on the Monday and American ones start on the Sunday, and this is produced by an American publisher, so it starts on the Sunday. So mystery solved. As you can see at the top, there is a very small hole on each page for you to hang it up with. This is nowhere near big enough for a nail, which is a bit of a shame, but I've come to get used to it because they're all like this. So what I actually did this year was I put a metal Christmas tree hook that's very similar to a paper clip through, and bent it over a nail, and that worked brilliantly, so I will be doing that forevermore. It's also spiral bound, as you can see, so it's very easy to bend it back on itself for ease of colouring. This gets a bit unmanageable if you're trying to colour on your lap, which is what I tend to do. So folding it back on itself means that you've got a much smaller area to be focusing on, and means that you can turn it and stuff for colouring as well. In terms of mental health, I think these calendars are absolutely fantastic. They're great because they are a manageable project. You can set yourself the task of colouring a month ahead, or colouring the whole year ahead, or colouring that page through that month. They're a really good way of kind of tracking progress, so you could colour through the year and see how much you've progressed from January to December. They make a fantastic gift, either coloured or uncoloured. I mean, you don't even have to add colour to this. Her images are so beautiful that just black and white, they look absolutely gorgeous, and most of mine end up staying that way because I'm not organised enough and I end up not colouring. I am really hoping to actually colour the whole of this calendar this year. I think this must be about my 7th or 8th colouring calendar that I've been sent to review. Not this year, just ever. And I am desperately hoping that it's going to be 7th time lucky, and that I will be able to colour the whole thing, because I'd really, really like to do that. And it's such a good way of getting yourself motivated, and it's also a really good way of brightening up your room and brightening up your mood. So, as many of you know, I suffer from depression and anxiety, and it's really nice on really bad days to be able to kind of look at the wall and think, I did that, and I can achieve stuff, and yeah, I think it's really good. So do let me know in the comments whether you will be getting this and what you think of it. I have also reviewed on the channel and on my blog the weekly colouring planner for 2020 and the page a day colouring calendar. So if this isn't for you, do check out those. They might suit your needs a bit better. And you might be like me and you might need all three. But yeah, do let me know in the comments what you think, and do subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up if you liked this video, and purchase links are in the description box below, and I will see you again soon. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.